doing infrastructure is different everywhere. The appropriate technology for whatever infrastructure problem is going to be different wherever you are. The thing that is so much harder is getting along with other people and sharing power in a way that people feel comfortable staying inside the process with you. The original Netflix show was the film crew coming to film how do you build an intentional community. And, Netflix paused it, and so they sold the footage on to Discovery. And, it is what it is. I think, actually, conflict around how do you make decisions, how do you... Sorry, I'm doing 4 things at once. How do you decide... this person has to go, and why, and what does that look like, and who has the power to say that, and what is the process, how does the process privilege certain groups over others? That's all super fucking interesting shit, right? That's what it means to be people together. Oh, that's good. Okay, good. That's better. So, it's a super interesting topic, it's a super interesting problem, and it's actually the hard part and the really important part in many ways of all of this, right? Building the infrastructure and stuff is almost less interesting. Personally, that's what I'm interested in, and it's funny, every time you see me, I'm building something, right? But yeah, I think probably the focus is definitely more social and less infrastructure, which is sort of ironic because we are only doing infrastructure. None of us live there. It's not a community. It's an infrastructure project. And then after we left, people came and built houses to live there, right? We're building the shared infrastructure. That's all we're doing. And the project of doing that is very different from the project of being a community. And that's why we started the Radical Raccoons Guide, actually, was this realization during this project that the art of building a community is totally different and not necessarily overlapping with the art of living at one, and the people who are good at living at one don't necessarily have what it takes to build one, and vice versa. One of the questions the production crew asked me is why I was leaving, right? I'm going back to Oakland for school, and they're like, when are you coming back? And I was like, I will never come back here. And they're like, oh my god, why? What do you mean? Tell us more about that. And I'm like, this isn't for me. I'm here to build something for other people, right? This is free land for people who need it. I don't need it. And I wouldn't want to live in Missouri, right? I'm here to give people a place to be okay. And most of us who were there for that reason, with the exception of a couple of people who were there for attention and fame or infamy, whichever is easier for them to get, right? Niah was only there to get attention. She was only there to make a scene on TV. She didn't give a fuck about anything that we were doing. She had zero interest in building anything. She was only interested in being the star of the show. And that's why it's you gotta fucking go, dude. Right? And I definitely think they moved too soon. I think, I agree, I voted for her to leave. Everyone voted for her to leave. It's a consensus model. Literally anyone can veto any decision, so every single person in the community voted for her to leave. Or abstained, right? If they didn't have a strong opinion. But the people who are good at building communities, it's not necessarily the same as any other group. It's a different set of skills. It's a different set of knowledge. I was really hoping they would include my interaction with her. I only had 2 conversations with her. They both happened on the same day, the day that we asked her to leave. She was in this whole Pocahontas costume, and I introduced myself and I was like, hi, how are you? I'm CJ. And I'm someone who has an undergraduate degree specializing in queer ethnic studies focused on American Indian studies, especially the Oseti-Sakowin, which is where Hoka and the people who came to do the land blessing were from. And I asked her, where are you from? And she's like, do you mean why am I dressed like an Indian? And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm just dressed this way for the show. I'm actually Italian. And I'm just like, oh my god, right? And I just walk away. I'm like, I'm 0% sticking up for this person from now on. And then during the council, when the vote happened for her to leave, she kept talking about, like, I have this unique experience and perspective, and I'm a spiritual healer because my cosmetics business didn't work out, and I got kicked off of the last TV show. She was on some other reality TV show where she was kicked out for being too much drama. And she's like, I have to prove to the world that I can do this so that my, like, life coach business can take off now that my cosmetology business failed. And we're just like, you are the worst fucking person in the world. Like, you need to go. Like, that's so awful. You're here to make a scene and get attention and cause drama. You're not here to create a place for people to be okay who need a place to live. Like, you need to go. And I think they moved too soon. They should have made sure everyone was on the same page before they did that. Tom, who was one of the people who immediately was like, what the fuck, we can't, like, why are you telling someone to leave? He didn't get, like, the why, right? He's gonna be here in a minute. And Tyler's gonna be here in, like, 10 minutes? He's still finishing the episode. But yeah, it was wild. It was wild. I love and adore and cherish every single person who was involved in this project, with two exceptions. Niah and Tyler Covington. He went by Oak. He decided to call himself Oak when he got there. So that's the only name I know him by, but apparently his name is also Tyler. So the season finale, the title of this season finale is A Tale of Two Tylers. So it's going to be interesting, and maybe, I don't know what that's about. Maybe Tyler can share when he gets here. But yeah, it's wild. It's a wild episode. And I definitely wish that we were covering more of the physical infrastructure stuff. But it seems like it's going to focus more on the social stuff, which is really important and doesn't get enough attention. So on one level, I'm glad, right, that, like, we are focusing on that, and it does seem to be like a pretty honest accounting of what happened. Although it's very Tarantino to, like, she called the police after we asked her to leave. So that was backwards. The reason she called the police is because she wanted them to tell her that she could stay even though we voted for her to leave. And you'll notice she said that when she was talking to them, even in the show. Can I stay on the land? Do I have to leave? And they're like, why would you want to? They ended up telling her, you know, they unanimously voted for you to leave. This is non-profit that these people created. This is the voting structure. These are the bylaws. If they asked you to leave, you're trespassing. And they gave her 24 hours to get her shit and get out. So that didn't make it into the filming, but it made it into the filming. Absolutely, it didn't make it into the final cut of the show for whatever reason. And obviously they switched the order of events, but yeah, it was pretty nuts. So a lot of people asked about, like, what do you do if someone refuses to leave? And it's like, you call a fucking tow truck, you know? Like, I wouldn't call the police, but she called the police on herself. So, problem solved, right? Yeah, it's pretty nuts, it's pretty wild. So, let's see, let's look at a question. Some people need to chill. Yeah, for real. And I mean, I think Tree would agree that, like, he didn't handle it the best way that you could have handled it, right? Like, but it was everyone agreed. It wasn't just him, right? Like, it was a unanimous decision of 45 people that she has to go. So, yes, he was kind of messy, but, like, he wasn't wrong, you know? Is there a governing document? What do you mean? What you talking about? Okay, this person just got here. Not sure if you already answered. Was it as bad as you anticipated? It was so much better than I thought it would be. I think, honestly, I think that was pretty fair. The story, like, a lot is left out, right? It's very condensed. Also, little sentences are chopped up and switched around, so it's not exactly what people... Like Tyler said, when the scene with him in the tent where he's like, this place is not what it seems, like, that they asked him a hypothetical question of how he would feel in a situation, and that was how he would feel in the situation, and then they made it look like that's what he was saying, right? So like he doesn't feel that way. He didn't say that exactly, right? Like it's very like a lot of it is misrepresenting reality, materially misrepresenting reality. But overall, I think it was okay. It's not terrible. And this is like what I've said over and over since the title was announced, right? Is like there is a version of this that is good and important and worth listening to, which is like every group, every community has good and bad, right? And like what does that look like? How do you spot a Niah, right? Like how do you see that person who's full of shit and like trying to be the star of the show and get attention and not here to help people, not here to build land where people can come live for free forever, and who's not motivated by any of that, right? Like they're motivated by getting attention and self-promotion and self-aggrandizement and like personal enrichment. How do you spot that? And like you see all the red flags here in this episode of how like it's like, wow, you know, like this person is a mess and like she needs to go. Speaking of which, Pragmatist Guide to Governance. When I think maybe it was after the first time I went and visited the garden. I was in graduate school, or I was in undergrad actually. I was in urban planning at the time. And I went back to my professors and I was like, is there a science of how do you make a group of people be effective at communicating and collaborating and accomplishing things together and being a healthy and functioning group? And I asked professors with doctorates in communication and group behavior and you know, community development and sustainability, and all of them said like that's the holy grail. There's no answer to that. It's always going to be subjective. It's always going to be whatever's appropriate. There's no answer to how do you organize people. The question of how do you organize people and the discussion and argument and disagreement and conflict around the answers to that question is the history of humanity and civilization. Like fundamentally, like that's politics, that's economics, that's logic and philosophy and communication, that's everything, right? Like there's not an answer to that question. She couldn't read the room at all. Yeah, well, I think she could. So this is the thing, like every single person wanted her to leave and she refused to leave. Not because she wanted to be there, but because she wanted to be on TV. It was just purely about getting attention and trying to be the star of the show and be famous. And like at every step of the way. And that is what pissed people off. Like when she's in the teepee during the fire ceremony, Hoka asked Bodhi, who is a man, to do the fire ritual because there's gender roles within the indigenous culture about these rituals, and a specific type of person is supposed to be doing this specific role to show the relationship between the sun and the moon. It's this whole thing. And she just like push him aside, sets the thing on fire herself. And like Bodhi had just spent 2 days building a bow out of materials on the land, which is the rule, and learning how to light fires with it. Like morning to sunset for days, building and learning how to do that for this ritual, which, you know, the people of the tribe asked him to do. And she just like pushed him aside with her Pocahontas costume as this like, you know, Italian person dressed as Pocahontas with the feathers and the fake tribal tattoos, and lights the fire herself. And it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, she so desperately wants to be the star of the show, and it rubbed everyone the wrong way, right? Obviously. And as you point out, it's not that she couldn't read the room, it's that she didn't give a fuck about the fact that she was making enemies of everyone. She only cared about getting attention and being on TV. So, yeah, it's a lot. Where's the garden? So this community is not the garden. This community is in Missouri. The garden is in Tennessee. This community is called Ember Field. The one that we built for this TV. This TV show is filmed at Ember Field. It's footage of us building Ember Field. It's not the garden. It's not even the same nonprofit as the garden. It's 600 miles in 4 states away from the garden. You thought Niah was legit. She was trying to call people out, wasn't she? For what? Like, no, she was just purely there for attention because she got kicked off of a reality TV show for being too much drama, and her cosmetic business failed, and she started this life coach business, and she was trying to rehabilitate her image by like not getting kicked off of another reality TV show. And she said that. That's her saying that. I don't know her. Like, I only know what she's said to me or in front of me about why she was there. But the fact is, it was a unanimous vote. She convinced 45 people to agree, 100% of the people who were there to agree that she needs to go. So it's not like she was somehow secretly the victim. Like, she made enemies of 45 people in a couple of weeks. Is there somewhere besides real-time cable? They told us it's something with a P. Does anyone know there's like a streaming service that it's with the P? Let me look. What did the production team say? Yeah, she like Philo. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. It's Philo, something like that. Yeah, I think if you Google that, you'll find it. It's not Peacock. It's something like Philo. Philo sounds right. Yeah, she just like, it's gross. Like, her behavior was just gross. It was like cringe, like really cringy. Like the fact that she said to me like, I'm not really an Indian. I just dressed like this for TV. I'm Italian. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, okay. I thought that's why we have arbitrators. So arbitrators are authorities that don't have like a legitimate source of authority, right? So like under an anarchy model, everyone has equal power. Anyone can veto anything, and any decision is made by the consensus of everyone. So if you can convince 45 people to agree with you on something, you can do anything. And it takes 45 people agreeing, not a single person thinking you should stay, 45 people agreeing that you should leave to kick you out. So the community is the arbiter, right? And I think it's a good model. There are downsides, there are problems, right? You can see, and they pointed it out, that like certain people who've been a part of this for a really long time have like a lot of influence, and you can argue that that's problematic, and I often do. But that we didn't see that in anything that happened here. You know, this was unanimous decisions by everyone. Is it on Hulu? I didn't know that. They said, Max is gonna start in 6 weeks. Hulu, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, and Discovery Live. Okay. You know, there are other places, right? And I mean, I encourage you to do that. You know, there are other options. No, I was just filming. What did she do wrong? Yeah, so I mean, I've answered that. I've given a bunch of examples. It was really cool to spend a lot of time with the people from the tribe whose land this historically is, and to meet a bunch of them and to follow their guidance through the process of doing the blessing for the project, the blessing for the land, building the teepee. They taught us, okay, go to this. They would take us to the forest, and they would find the tree and be like, it's this one, you need to cut it down, you need to strip the bark, cut off all the branches, it needs to be laid in the sun and kept off the ground, and you need to roll it once an hour. And like, so we did all that right? And then they led us through building the teepee, which you saw, and then the several different blessing rituals to bless the project, bless the land. So, and then we compensated them for all the time and materials and labor for all of that and their travel. So yeah, it was great. It was really great to work with them. I've personally not worked with Yoseti Sakwan in the past. I've worked a lot with the Paiutes, but this was my first time working with Yoseti Sakwan, so it was really cool. Why was the name chosen for the show? That's a good fucking question, and that's the question a lot of us are asking. So we have all the, like, they showed us all the material about, like, why, and they had the whole list of potential titles. I really liked the first runner-up, the one that was right under this one, was American Anarchy, and I feel like that's so much cooler, right? That would have been a really cool name. But this is the one they picked because it's clickbait and they want controversy, right? And my first reaction to this was like, there is a charitable reading of this. Like every community has good and bad. And what does that really look like? What does bad look like in a community like this? Bad looks like Niah. The behavior of like trying to be the star of a TV show instead of being there to help people and build what they need and fulfill the needs that people have that are not being met, and build land where they can live for free forever and focus on that. Like, that's what we're there to do, right? And there's good and there's bad, and that's what the bad looks like, right? So if you're and somebody who I was watching it with like family and friends, someone was like, I love how Niah started calling it a cult as soon as they asked her to leave unanimously. And it's like, yeah, exactly, right? That's the toxic behavior. Niah's behavior is the toxic behavior. And frankly, Oak too. We haven't seen that yet, but we'll get there. Again, I adore every single person who is involved in this project, except with two exceptions, people who I do not want to see again, which is Oak and Niah. Or Tyler, the Christian Tyler. He goes by Oak. He went by Oak when he was there. American Anarchy is not clickbait. That's what we're doing. We're doing anarchy. You know, like, we're offering an alternative to the mainstream American society and system. So it's a cogent description of the project. Why the garden? Because the garden, historically, like, there was a whole series of conspiracy theorists on TikTok who were accusing the garden of being a cult some years ago that went super viral. And Vice did a documentary series with the same title. Okay, the same exact title. Vice's documentary about, like, is there any truth to this? And they concluded, like, this is just a normal farm, and, like, these people are just making this shit up for attention on TikTok. And in fact, they got those people to admit it on camera. And now they've deleted all their accounts, you know, because it's like these people, like, they were getting thousands of death threats a day back then, because these people were creating all of these conspiracy theories about the garden, which were totally unfounded, for attention, right? And they were being stoked by people like Rel, right? And Rel, you know, this, like, wanted to make it worse, started talking about, like, she like made her pets into clothes, right? And, like, ate a cat. And then everyone gets blamed for that. And it's like, it's this one person who's, like, trying to get all this attention. Yeah, so there were, like, bad actors involved, right? And that's why they wanted to call it that, because you get attention, because it has this history. But the garden is not where the show is filmed. The garden is not the name of the community that we built. It's Ember Field, 600 miles and 4 states away from the garden. I don't know about insulin in Oakland. Which ones would I not want to see again? Oak, the second Tyler, the Tyler who just arrived at the end of the episode, and Niah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let me see where they're at. Oh, he said 2 minutes. Yeah, Tyler with the 4 girls. I don't know how to distinguish that, it's weird that they're like billing him as Tyler. That's not what he went by. He went by Oak. And he's also, by the way, a professional actor. Tyler was not like a real member of the project. He was a professional actor hired by Discovery to come do whatever he's doing. So he was like not ever like a real participant. Tom, welcome. If you Tom, if you bring up TikTok, you can see the comments, or I can read them. Just you're muted if you do, or else it'll.
Oh my god. Hey!
Welcome to the live stream.
Oh god, where are we streaming?
TikTok.
Oh, nice. So, what'd you think? That was great.
Yeah,
I did.
I thought it was good. I thought it's definitely better than I was expecting. I saw in the Discord it seemed like everybody had really positive feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't have any lines in this episode, which kind of sucked. But you did. You had one.
Yeah.
You're like screaming.
Yeah, right? That's all I was like, oh boy. And then they showed it, like they showed a cutscene of it too, and I'm like, oh, that looks so aggressive.
Yeah. It's funny, there's a lot of that where people are like the scenes with Tyler in his tent. It's like they ask him a hypothetical question and he reacts to the hypothetical scenario, and they show that as what he was saying.
Yeah.
Same with what you were saying in that moment. You were like parodying someone else's behavior, and that became your behavior,
Yeah, there was it's quite the story that was told out of that. So, but yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think this is like the best that we could have hoped for with Discovery. And it's a good, like, it's showing like there's good and bad, right, in like any group, and
Absolutely.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of the episode because it seemed like I was watching and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're putting a lot in this. Like,
Yeah.
they must have some more footage than I thought they did.
Yeah, and a lot, like, there's definitely stuff where they were being sneaky, like when they were listening to Tree and Jack talking in the bus, and you could tell they were like had a microphone up to the window.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That's like, why are they like that?
So I said, I was like, just remember, we have microphones on and they can hear everything. They're like, no.
Yeah. It's hard to have like personal conversations and really connect across like conflict when there's like lots of people watching and recording and listening. It's like you're hyper vigilant to like, am I saying everything exactly the way I want to? And
yeah, because they can cut it out and take it right out of context.
Right. Yeah, in my like big sit down interview at the end, I just talked really, really fast, so there's no way they could like cut it up.
Yeah, my sit down interview, I refused to answer their questions because like I felt like they waited till the end to like ask anything of me, and then like it was just, and then they asked like all these like really in-depth details about stuff, and I was like, you know what, this probably would have been better to talk about at the time, and like now, like, I don't know, like.
Yeah. Okay, let me look at the questions we're getting. Who are the actors? Okay, so the thing that's not obvious to people watching the show is that not all the people were actually part of the group. Some of them are paid actors who were like plants by the network, and we weren't sure that we knew who all of them were, right? And so Tree definitely thought Niah was one, right? And that was like he was definitely like a little paranoid about that from the beginning. Like he definitely thought she was the plant. But then we knew about Tyler. There's several that we haven't seen yet, and then the other Tyler, who went by Oak, right? So, is there anyone else we've seen so far? Heather doesn't count, right?
Yeah, no.
But like that was such a weird, and they kind of sprung that on us at the last minute. Like that wasn't part of the original plan, that there was going to be these plants there.
Right, they were like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, we there's these people that we interviewed, and we're gonna have them show up too." And it was like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah. And
well,
the wild part, Tyler was telling me, like they're like, "Oh yeah, we had to do there was a bunch of us originally, and we had to do like all these psychological profiles and stuff, and they like whittled it down to the ones that made it." And I'm like, "What? Like, what are they looking for?"
Right.
And then the producer's like, "Oh yeah, we have those on all of you," and I'm like, "What? I didn't sign off on that."
Yeah, that's on. Yeah, social media. What is it like? Reverse engineering. You know, social media, going through everything and picking people out. That's how Tashila said that she was picked for this whole thing. That she was following some an off-grid. Somebody who posted off-grid content, and she was like really following him, I guess, and like commenting, and then they reached out to her through her just having interest in that.
Oh, wow. That's wild. I didn't know that. She's like commenting on the garden stuff?
No, it was something with somebody totally different.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no affiliation whatsoever.
Yeah. Huh. I also loved, like, I feel like they tried to make Tyler look like way more like the tough guy than he really is.
I mean, he was getting workout in out there. Like, it was like, whoa, okay, like, you got it.
He's like, I'm gonna find the root of this, and I'm gonna make them fucking tell me. It's like, okay. I could see that being another, like,
hold them up by their ankles.
But, like, probably they asked him a hypothetical question, and then he said that, and then made it look like that was what he said.
Yeah.
I asked him about that, and he's like, I don't feel that way. That's not exactly what I meant when I said that. They just cut it out of context. He should be here any minute.
Yeah, I know. I talked to them about it maybe like 2 weeks ago or so. Just feeding them information about the show, because I guess they weren't kept up to date about anything like the air.
They're not in the Discord or anything. I'm not exactly sure. I think there's just this, like, we don't know, like, there's definitely some paranoia, right? Which makes sense given the history, but, like, I don't know, he seems fine, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. They're like, come out to Colorado. Next time you're in Colorado, you have to stop here and stay.
Yeah. And, like, if Niah is still in the Discord, why is Tyler not in the Discord?
Is she still in there?
I thought so. Maybe not. She was at some point. I saw some messages from her.
No, my phone is shutting down. I'll be back.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see the questions. Yeah, the Vice documentary is great. Like, Vice came and they were very honest. It was none of this, like, reality fucking clickbait bullshit, you know, splicing and dicing what happened. It's the same title. This is Discovery Channel just, like, totally plagiarized the title from the Vice documentary, so it's easy to find. But they came and interviewed everyone. I was in it. That's when I met everyone. I was there. I just happened to come visit the day they started filming that. So, like, that's the context of how I met everyone in this project years ago. So I definitely recommend people watch that. You know, basically they're like, this is just a normal fucking farm, and there's all these conspiracy theorists on TikTok making shit up for attention, right? An actor. Yeah. There's a bunch of like actors who are like fake, not really part of the group. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. Can you talk about the legal requirements to make it free forever for everyone? It's a land trust. So you have a land trust is a contract about how land can be used and how it can't be used between the owner and the user, which can be the public, right? It doesn't have to be a specific person. It can be anyone who shows up is allowed to do this, this, and this. So there is that contract. And then the thing to watch out for is the owner can tear it up, right? So like a land trust is not enough. It's an important step, but the owner can tear it up. So in this case, the owner is a nonprofit that we created, which is called Share the Land Trust, and everyone is a voting member. And so there are bylaws about like you can't rip up the land trust, right? Like it's like written in stone. And then it owns the land. The property taxes on it are like $80 a year, right? And so we have 6 of these. This is the 6th one that we've built. So that's how you make it free forever for everyone, because no one can rip it up. No one can change the trust without everyone consenting. So you would have to have 100% of everyone involved agree to change anything. So that's how you keep it free for everyone. Sarah says, "Hey Tom."
Hey Sarah.
Sarah, do you want to join? Okay, let me see. Did I get along with Julian Tree? Yeah, I love Julian Tree.
Absolutely.
We're starting a nonprofit together. We just got our nonprofit status.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do land projects across the Southwest.
Nice. Any other information?
Not yet. We're not ready yet, but soon. Okay. I mean, I'll tell you, but I'll tell you later. Okay, so then someone said, yeah, the 2 people who didn't assimilate into the group were not there to help others. They were there for attention and self-aggrandizement. Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, that's what was the source of conflict, is the fact that like they weren't there to help, right? So we'll see more about that, I'm sure. Sarah says we... Oh, sorry.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Sarah says we kind of forgot who was mic'd up and who wasn't. Yeah. And they snuck the mics in the window when we weren't mic'd up. So, like, you know.
Right.
Someone says, so the viewer doesn't know that they're actors? Yeah, they didn't say that. That was not included in the show. That some of these people are paid actors who are not really part of the group. And in fact, the story is told from their perspective, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the kicker. It was like, oh, all right. I thought this was going to be about like the whole project that we're involved in and we're doing. Like,
yeah. If people aren't aware, originally this was going to be a Netflix show specifically about how to build intentional communities. And Netflix paused all their new development, and then it moved to Discovery. Discovery is like, oh yeah, same, totally, filmed it, and then they're like, just kidding, it's going to be a clickbait reality TV.
Yeah, that was so disappointing when they were like, it seemed like everybody was waiting for the word for like what it was going to be named, and then when I opened that PDF up, I was like, wait, what?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought they were going to be way more critical of some people. Like, I think it's probably obvious who I thought they were going to be more critical of. But it seems like they're basically just being critical of, like, Niah and Oak. Like, they're the... Like
I don't know.
The title of the final episode.
I think, I don't know. I was kind of getting like, yeah, kind of like Niah, but maybe with I don't know because like
Tree.
how it was it with like how she Tree and then Patrick too kind of because it was kind of like I think was it Tyler that said like I want to see how things go down when Patrick's not here, and then like which I was like oh okay like maybe this is like showing that like oh maybe he's
He has
not
a lot
like,
of influence.
So
Yeah.
but then like kind of when she was when she was asked to leave, they like went back in the interview and was like, oh, where were you when Niah was asked to leave? And I don't know, he kind of like he was like, oh, I was at the tree farm like getting trees or something. And she was like, oh, that was convenient. And he was like, yeah. And it was just like I don't know. Are they?
It definitely wasn't planned that way, though.
No. Okay. Because like I was like, oh, wait a minute, and then the whole thing with Tyler being like, after I guess talking to Niah was like, like there is something going on here. Like it like leaves that suspense up, like, oh, maybe there is something going on here.
But he said he didn't really feel that way, and it wasn't about that. He was talking about like his missing Heather, and it was like a hypothetical situation that they posed. Like it was misrepresented. He didn't really feel that way. That's what he said. I wonder where he is.
Yeah, I messaged about Zance and Jagalora too.
Jag can't get the app to work. I tried helping her earlier today, and Zans is doing her own live stream.
Oh, shoot.
I know we have like 10 live streams, which is like the perfect example of like the chaos and disorder that is like there's no way this could be a cult because it would never get anything done. Oh, Tyler said joining now. Okay, let me see.
What's in the comments? Anything in the comments?
Sarah says she's gonna join. Tyler's here. People said, I really enjoyed it. Interesting story so far. Is there anything that was skimmed over that we wish they would have explored more?
Tom!
Yo! Ha!
What's up, buddy?
Hey, not much. Great performance. You look good on there.
Dude, I tried. I tried.
I tried.
Dude, how do I get my video here? There we go.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? So who do we got on here?
Sarah's about to join, and me and Tom, and then the audience.
Who?
Sarah, and Tom, and me.
Okay, cool.
This picture.
So what?
So you can't see it. I put. My brother sent me this picture that it's like Thor with. I think I sent it to you with the hair.
Yeah, I know. A lot of slow-mo hair flicks in there.
Yeah. You're so. They did a bunch of these shots with people where they're like, okay, so like close your eyes and look down, and then open your eyes and look up, and it's like it's gonna look so fucking cool. You'll see. And it's like, okay, I feel really stupid. And they're like, no, just do it.
I feel left out. I didn't get one of those.
Oh no. Next time, season 2.
Yeah, they did so many takes of what you're saying, like the whole slow mo eye opening thing. They're like, leave your hat on because it looks more Yellowstone, and with your hat off, it looks too much Baywatch.
Yeah.
So what are you guys' thoughts on that? That was really weird to see.
Yeah.
Everybody and myself on a big network like that.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal.
Absolutely.
It's very, very surreal.
It's very
My phone
Tarantino.
was sweating the entire time. Like,
a lot of like everything switched the order, right? She called the police on
Right.
herself before she got kicked out for some reason. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, but the editing was pretty interesting how they spliced stuff together. But
They did a really, really, really good job, I think.
I think it was as good as it could have been for Discovery.
For
Yeah.
sure. And I think they're doing a really good job of storytelling and allowing what actually happened in a good way. Like, yes, Tree really did take her phone. That wasn't fucking made up. And like the cops were really called.
Yeah,
And
I remember
she
just being
got
there.
kicked out. Niah, like that shit actually really happened.
I remember just
and-
being there and seeing them running by screaming, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking,
that reaction.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, you guys are talking about like, we don't want no drama, we don't want no nothing, and the next thing I know, I see fucking Tree pedaling with Naraya's phone, with Niah chasing him. Like, what the hell is going on right now?
I loved the discussion
wish-
between you and Patrick about it. When he's like,
Yeah, and
kids take each other's toys. Who fucking cares? There's famines. Like, okay.
I guess if you compare it to enslavement, yeah, I guess
Right.
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Like, sure.
You're like, somebody takes my stuff, I'm gonna body. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you're not gonna take my shit.
Yeah. He definitely should not have done that. He definitely was, did not handle everything as well as he could have.
Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed Tree and his conversations and everything that he has to say. But yeah, there's certain things like that. That was the one thing I can definitely say. I was like, bro, she's not trying to fucking poison you. She's not trying to kill you. She's not the goddamn FBI. Like,
It's like the weirdest thing.
she's just a girl that wants to be on TV, bro, and that is it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
She's not a plant. She got on there organically. She's just taking advantage of it.
Well, I think at that point we weren't sure who all was a plant, right? We knew that some
Nobody
people were,
was a plant. Like,
well, you were a
for
plant.
for them to cast Niah as how she played that character, it would be a 1 in a million shot to find someone like that.
Yeah. Well, sure, but it seemed like it at the time, right? Like they were trying to make him feel paranoid, and it worked, and he didn't handle it well, for sure.
No, and like I wasn't, and to be honest, like I don't know what you're going to be sharing this video with, but I was.
We're alive right now, right? You know that,
Huh?
right? You know that we are on live.
Yeah, sure. I guess I won't say exactly what's on my mind until after the season.
Oh, okay.
But
I think I don't know
Yeah.
what's the ending. The ending, the description of the final episode, A Tale of Two Tylers.
that's not the final one,
It says it is on the website.
is it?
It says series finale, A Tale of Two Tylers. You guys fighting about something.
Oh yeah, no, I confront him because he was talking shit about my wife.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It says
that was a
after-
no-go in my book, and he crossed the line, and I confronted him during one of his fucking interviews in the woods.
Oh, well, good. I mean, everybody
Yeah,
will back you up on that.
So just a little heads up on that. That's what that's about.
Yeah, I don't like him. His first thing, so everyone knows, the first thing this guy fucking says when he shows up, right, is he wants to paint Confederate flags on everything.
Oh, dude, in the teepee, he
In
says,
the
you know,
teepee.
I can paint a Confederate flag for you in that council meeting, and I'm like,
And everyone's like, no.
wrong audience, wrong audience,
Oh my
wrong
god.
people.
That guy.
Another one that doesn't know how to read the room.
Yeah. Hi, Sarah. You got connected?
Sarah,
Maybe. I don't know if I'm on or not.
You are.
Okay,
You are.
you can
It's
hear
not.
me. I just don't see a picture, so I don't know how to do that.
yeah, you just gotta like the little video icon. You just gotta hit that button if you want your picture to pop up.
Well, I don't necessarily, because I'm not as keen on being on camera, but.
No pressure.
Oh, you look good. Get on here.
No pressure.
All the pressure.
I'll figure it out and get it to do anything. It's just showing me a little person silhouette thing.
Someone who looks a lot like Niah says, "Why was everyone so mean to Niah?" Because Niah created enemies of 45 people in a couple of weeks to the point that there was unanimous consent of everyone in the community that she needed to go. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, and to be quite honest, like I was really just like on the show. It makes me seem like I was really rooting for her, but I was like behind the cameras. I was like, dude, she's pissing people off. She has to go. She has to go. Like I honestly don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
They made it look like you were like, oh my god, they kicked someone out. It's a cult. And it's like, what? He voted for her to leave.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, I wasn't there for a lot of it, and I didn't really understand any of it until she started talking during the actual when she was getting voted off. And I was like, holy shit, because people,
Yeah.
you got to understand that scene was only like 2 minutes long, but that lasted 5 hours.
It was a lot.
Of just a rinse and repeat of the exact same thing over and over and over again, to the point where my face wanted to explode. So I left within like 30 minutes of that 5-hour conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
I walked away many times.
I'm bummed that they didn't include the ice cream thing, because that was the thing for me where it was like, okay, I'm not wrong about her. I went into town and got little ice creams for everyone that match everyone's dietary requirements and restrictions. And I'm walking around while everyone's screaming, handing the ice cream to them. That's what the kind they can eat. And I give her one, and she throws it on the ground. And I'm just like, what the fuck? The kids would have eaten that, you know?
Wow,
I'm
I
bummed
did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that happened. Wow.
It was a long day.
Tom, are you and Zan still a thing?
Yeah.
But I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
that's
two
okay.
were we hung out with you guys the most, and I was just thinking like, well, hopefully they all worked out in the end.
Someone said the flag person was an actor, or no? I think they mean Oak, the person who is featured so heavily in the trailer. Yes, he's an actor. He's a professional actor who's been in movies, and they cast him for this role, which is why he has a certain story to tell the whole time about.
Did you actually see his IMDb or anything?
My brother sent it to me. Yeah. It's not good.
And- No, that's what I'm saying. Like as far as I got that he was like an extra or something in the Ozarks, the TV show.
Oh, that too. No, but there's a movie and he's like on the cover of it. It's like a low budget, not like a studio film.
Oh,
Hi, CJ.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
and Tom's on here,
Hey.
and Sarah.
And we're live streaming on TikTok. So there's
Oh God.
also
Okay.
500 people watching.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
How did you feel about it, Heather?
We're naked a lot.
I
Yeah.
feel like they
You
could
started naked.
just see you now. I just now see you guys. I feel like they followed us around for 2 days at for the bio stuff.
Yeah.
And we definitely had better conversations than me being bisexual.
Looking for a
But-
threesome.
Yeah. Like,
And then that's how her father found out that she was bisexual.
Oh, damn, they outed you?
Wow.
Holy shit.
And he just kind of goes like this at her, like.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, now you know.
we definitely had better conversations than that, but
Yeah.
that's,
That's the
not
clickbait one.
above my pay grade.
Yeah.
that's funny.
Someone said maybe
Really,
Niah
that's
was
not
a
what
plant.
they said.
Someone in the chat
Really,
said,
that's not what.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, CJ.
Someone in the chat said maybe Niah was a plant. That's what Tree thought all along. Yeah.
But you guys still think she was a plant?
No, I mean she wasn't, right?
She wasn't a plant at all.
She wasn't that smart, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, it's just that her mother knew someone in the community and then told Niah about it in Florida at the other property, and then they hooked
Tree
them up
invited her.
with them.
And then Tree was like, "Oh no."
That's fine.
Someone in the
It was
chat
definitely-
says Happy Coming Out Day.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks.
So everybody on here that's watching, who actually watched it, what do you guys think of it? Are you guys hungry to see episode 2 or actually it's going to be number 3 because that premiere I think was the first 2 episodes.
They're all like that. They announced today they changed it so they're all 2 hours and there's only 4.
Oh my god.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's only going to be like 3 viewings?
Well, 4.
4, okay.
4 2-hour episodes. And you could kind of tell like there was a place where it sort of ended at the 1 hour mark and then it suddenly starts again, you know?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Someone in
Very
the chat
interesting.
says, I met Niah in Florida and she's exactly like that in real life.
That's because that's really her.
We know.
Like what part?
I mean, like how I described her on the show is exactly how she is in real life. She's
She
just
doesn't
like
care about helping people. She wants to be the star of a TV show.
That's sad. That was really frustrating for me to see people who got casted like that because I genuinely came there and I worked my butt off and I did nothing but like wanted to help, whether the camera was there or not. So, if I had a chance to come.
ish.
What are you doing to that poor girl, Tyler?
I would say don't talk too much. There's still stuff coming up. Don't pay attention to anything that you just heard.
Oh, that way to point it out.
No, that's why you kind of threw me off with that question earlier because I was like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
yeah, okay. Well, it's pretty obvious, the ending of the episode.
I mean,
I don't know. That I was kind of feeling like they were trying to paint me as like trying to get cuddled up with Niah with like the hugging and like I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Oh, how do you think I felt when she went into my tent and everybody's like, oh, because we had a big watch party at my house, and then I'm like, that was a forced scene.
Then
that wasn't a real
you
scene.
were the only person she would let help her move her shit.
That too.
No.
They told me to make sure that happened.
But there was a reason. There was a reason for that didn't make it into the episode, which was when she came back from the police telling her like, "You're trespassing. They told you to leave. You need to fucking leave. You're not being held prisoner. You're trespassing." Right. When she came back from that, Tree was like throwing all her shit into her truck, and then she got.
So was Vibe and Shine. Vibe and Shine were like ripping her shit apart. Like a goddamn tornado.
And that was in the. They showed that a little bit. They didn't say that's what was happening, but they showed it. And
They showed.
that's why she didn't want any of them to help, right? She wanted Tyler to help because Tyler is a plant.
Oh yeah.
I want to know what questions people have.
Yeah, I'm looking. Someone said Niah seems insufferable. Someone
That's such a
said.
good word.
Someone said, "Is there any gardening going on?"
Yes.
Actually, yeah. Just wait until you see CJ's part.
Hopefully.
I'm not gonna reveal it, but it's actually a really, really cool idea that made walking at night really fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm really.
It really was. It was a really cool idea, and
They
it
showed
made
it.
it like you didn't need lights
Yeah.
because of this,
Yeah.
and you just kind of naturally flowed. You made the property like have natural walkways. That was like really, really cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then they showed the orchards because so Patrick was we're not supposed to talk about the other,
The neighbor.
yeah, but Patrick was with the neighbor somewhere getting trees, and then they planted all of them. So now there's like an orchard, and they showed that and the cages that protect it from the deer. I kind of feel like it would be really interesting to take those little clips and do like, here's an explanation of what's going on here, since they didn't even explain any of it in the show. You know, it's so much about the social stuff, but like a lot of people are interested in like the agriculture and permaculture and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully they go into a little bit deeper. I feel like Eric Lewis really showcased a lot of his knowledge.
the grafting guy,
Yeah.
that was after I left. Yeah, I didn't get to meet him, but seems interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to see more of like the actual infrastructure and like how things are set up and how things were put together and how things ended up working.
And hopefully they show the storm.
They showed a clip from it.
I didn't. I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Spoilers!
Patrick said something like, when we first get to the land, we need to have a place to poop, we need to have shelter from the rain, and then it's like a 1-second clip of the tornado.
The tornado.
Yeah.
Oh god, I have so much to say about that.
The tornado? Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep.
Someone said can't wait to watch it. Someone said LMFAO at tree.
Yeah.
Garden tour would be good. Oh yeah, they should do like, well, I mean, there are a million of those videos on all of our TikToks touring the garden. The video at the beginning of the intro, they have like a map of the actual garden, and that is the garden. The land that we're at is not the garden, but
Yeah, it's the Tennessee property, or the Tennessee property is the original garden, and then the TV show is us building up the commune on Missouri property.
Ember Field. It's called
And
Ember.
I think Shine actually has videos of both like a walkarounds at the garden and at Emberfield too.
Yeah, and so I just tagged her in a video earlier today, so people can find Shine. I think her TikTok is something like Peaceful Warrior, and she did recent videos of tours of all the different properties.
Ooh, go check those out.
I think she also did one at Pirates Cove, which is the land that we bought at the lake in Tennessee, and then she did one at the Florida land too.
Awesome.
I haven't seen the Pirates Cove. I've heard about it.
It's cute. There's chiggers, so you know.
Chiggers is no fun.
Ugh.
Yeah. There was a guy at the garden after the Missouri project, he's like a government bug researcher or something, and he was telling he talked a lot of information about chiggers and stuff. Apparently they don't actually burrow into you, for example. They just like bite, and then you have a reaction to the bite, and then they fall off. Which made me feel way less grossed out by them, because I've always heard that they're like burrowing into your legs.
Yeah, I was always like painting like nail polish
That doesn't work
on myself to suffocate them.
Yeah, he said that doesn't work because they bite and they fall off, so they're already gone by the time you get
That
symptoms.
changes a lot.
You just changed my whole entire childhood.
Yeah. For people who don't
giant
know, these are horrible bugs that in Tennessee, it climbs up your legs and then it bites you, and you have horrible sores all over your like thighs.
And they itch really bad.
For like a week. Like, it's gross.
Way worse than mosquitoes.
Pirates Cove has them, one of our lands. So we need to do more fires, but it's not like flat, so it's harder to like burn a hillside in a controlled way, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
They split
CJ,
a bunch
I
of
have a-
chickens, so the chickens also get rid of them.
Oh.
so CJ, I have a question for you. You remember our conversation around the campfires about you starting a snack food company called CJ's Pocket Snacks? Where are we at with that?
I think they'll show that with my conversations with Oak, because he always wanted a snack from my pockets whenever I talked to him.
So if the inside joke is because CJ would walk around in a robe throughout this whole company, this
like
whole
a
property.
festival cloak. It was like,
Yeah, and I think it had like a dragon or something on it, or I can't remember, or like runes. I can't remember.
it was
But
Fenris.
he would have food and prosecco hidden in his robes
Always.
the whole entire time. He would just jump around a campfire and be like,
You wanna go
Prosecco?
Yogurt.
Yeah.
You want a Gogurt?
Yeah.
and that was my favorite time when it was CJ pocket snack time.
Someone said, I thought it would be more about how to make a successful commune. So, like, it is. The thing is, okay, so, like, doing infrastructure is different everywhere. The appropriate technology for whatever infrastructure problem is going to be different wherever you are. The thing that is so much harder is getting along with other people and sharing power in a way that people feel comfortable staying inside the process with you. That's hard. And that's something that, like, there isn't a science of. And that's what you're seeing in the show. The hard part, right? What do you guys
Yeah, and
think?
that, I mean, unfortunately, our culture is built on drama equals, viewership.
Well, that's not it. It's that you have to create some sort of order and structure in order to create infrastructure. You have to create some sort of hierarchy. You have to create some sort of organization first before you can build, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah. I heard someone once said that before a group can be effective in accomplishing something together, they have to negotiate the space and the process together. And you see that in the like, we were there for like 2 months, right? And 90% of the work that got done was like in the last week. Right? the first 7 weeks is like just fighting about, like, how do we decide how to do the work? And then finally everyone is so frustrated, half the people leave, and suddenly we get everything done, right?
That's what I was saying. Like, certain people left, and I was like, all of a sudden, no one was arguing or fighting, and all of a sudden, we were just hauling ass.
And that's
it finally.
Yeah, and that's communication theory. You have primary tension, secondary tension. People are fighting about who gets to make decisions and how, and then you either figure it out or you break up, right? Part of the group leaves. Suddenly, there's no tension. Everything gets done. And that's just the process. Like, other people are the hardest part of this.
Agreed.
So, I guess my question to everybody on here, cast-wise, if there's a season 2, hold on. If this ends up being successful, if there's a season 2, will you participate in it if allowed? And how do you see it proceeding forward? Like, how do you see it moving forward? Like, obviously, we're going to have our own answer and our own perspective of, is it a commune or a cult? So
like, what does that even mean? And where's the line?
I know. I'm not saying, like, that's the hook. That's what the story arc is going to be about. Is like, is it a commune or a cult?
Yeah.
So I guess those two questions. If there's a season 2, would you participate? And how do you think the network would need to move forward in order for it to make it, good?
I'd participate, but I don't know where they'd need to go after pulling it this way.
Yeah.
I was hoping this one would be bringing the new land and showing the infrastructure builds and all that, and it's maybe they could go that direction instead of doing how the people work together or showing what people actually. I think everybody else's idea is another space, but how that would work out, I don't know. What would they have to focus on?
I think they're going to start showing more of the infrastructure.
Yeah, I think
I think they'll
they're
eventually
going to have to do the big kitchen build. They at least film that. So.
Have you guys heard the episode descriptions?
Yeah,
I've only got the names of this one and the next one.
I have only seen the Tale of Two Tylers.
That's the finale. The next
Nice.
episode is called Suspicious Minds, and the description is despite calling the cops, Niah decides she's going to stay. Cult-like antics put off newcomer Tyler, you. Later, Tyler C., a Christian apocalypse prepper from rural Tennessee, heads to the garden. Which it kind of seems like,
That's
That was this episode.
yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like it was this episode. But it says it's the one that's airing on November 5th.
Yeah, I think they're off a little bit, and also there was a big confusion, because like when we went to go watch this on regular cable, the Discovery Channel, it wasn't gonna come on until 10 o'clock, so we had to go on like Sling
Oh, wow.
or what's the other one?
Philo.
We had to go on Philo and watch Discovery Channel there in order to even watch it.
Did they not give you the, like, there's like a login for us.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they're-
it kept kicking. I had to
send
watch
out-
it on cable because it kicked me off.
We can tell you about it when we're not on public.
Okay,
But
yeah,
there's a login that we can
I didn't
use.
hear anything.
They're not doing a good job of keeping in touch with you guys, with the plants. They just plant you and abandon you.
Yeah.
Because that we're sleeper plants.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, I kind of look forward to, but also I'm a little nervous about the party.
The
Yeah,
Sexy party.
the
Yeah.
sexy party. That's all we're gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about it because I'm gonna leave it because Tom, you know what I went through during that party.
That would be interesting.
I left.
I know. I feel embarrassed. So we'll leave it at that.
Oh.
There's a lot of good TV made that night.
I know.
TV.
Something that they definitely didn't include that I saw constantly was Tyler naked. Like, you be walking to the kitchen, suddenly you see Tyler, he's got his dick out, he's peeing, and he's making eye contact with you the whole time you walk by. Constantly.
That was only with you, man. I was doing the pee bucket thing.
Special DJ.
I was doing the pee bucket because Tree was doing his charcoal pee bucket.
No, it
And I
was
was like, does
everywhere.
anybody need to
It
go?
was
And
everywhere.
I'm like, I do. I need to pee. And I didn't want to, there were kids there, so I had to turn around to make sure I wasn't showing my junk to the kids.
Uh-huh.
And then I look over to you and you're like, CJ's like, eye contact. I'm like, I see you.
I'm like eating.
I see you, CJ. And I'm okay with it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was naked on there a lot.
Yeah.
And it just gets worse. It gets more. That was just a blimp, like a little glimpse of the nakedness.
People saying they want to see behind the scenes. I videoed like the whole thing, and I published all of it at the time, so I should probably go back and repost all of that.
Yeah, you
people have
probably
theories
do like
about-
a couple of reposts.
Yeah, people have theories about Oak. His wife and kids are actually plants too. They're not his real family.
Oh man,
I don't know about any of that.
that dude's voice carried so much throughout the night, and all he was doing is talking shit about everybody in his tent, and this is his big
Oh,
giant booming voice. Yeah, he was just talking shit about like what he did that day, and I was like, and you'll see in the grand finale, like,
You'll see.
yeah, why it's called the Tale of Two Tylers.
I kind of think like, Commune or Cult is kind of the tale of two Tylers, right? Like, you have this one guy who's like not really trying to be helpful or like contribute and kind of being an asshole and like weirdly somehow injects racism into every conversation.
Right? Oh my god, that's right.
And then you have like Tyler Milligan like up there on the roof with a hammer, like building shit.
Oh my god.
I'm glad I'm not the rate. I'm glad I'm the building on the roof guy,
Yeah.
not the racist, random, unhelpful guy. I like that. So you plan on doing these lives after every episode, correct?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Someone said,
Good. I know Tree is doing one as well right now, I think.
yeah, there's like 10. Zanzi's doing one, but I think it's not for. It's like a Zoom. It's like friends and family Zoom. It's not like.
Gotcha.
It's like a live for friends, not for the public.
Gotcha. You should definitely get Tree on here.
She's doing it on my Zoom account, so I'm surprised that it lets me do another one at the same time. I don't really know how Zoom works.
But yeah, you should definitely get Tree in on the next one. I think it'd be a very colorful conversation.
I think that everybody was like really paranoid about like how this was gonna go, and like now that they see, I think like this is not bad, right? Like we're not gonna get death threats over this. It's not gonna be like it was last time. So I think people will be more comfortable, you know.
Hold on a second. Y'all never answered my question about would you guys do it again or?
Oh, I would. Yeah, I started the steering committee about like where should we do it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know at the end of the season, CJ, you were like, I am not fucking coming back to this.
Yeah, you were done.
You were like done.
Yeah, I mean, I have zero desire to ever go to Missouri.
It's not that bad, you know.
Like we did the projects, we got.
Oh yeah,
the
Sarah, you're from Missouri, right?
I'm sitting in Missouri right now.
You're in. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say the city, but
No offense to Missouri.
I'm down south. I'm about 5 hours south of the land.
No offense to Missouri, I just don't have a reason to be there. Like, there's nothing about Missouri that's calling me to Missouri. I'm there to like help build something for people that need it, and then go do it again somewhere else. You know, like
I'm excited for your project, CJ, and I'm not gonna. I know that it's not time to talk about that yet.
Yes.
But I'm excited for that.
Yes, we're gonna do similar stuff across the Southwest. So that's exciting. Okay, people saying, tell us about the water setup. Where do you guys get the water? So for this, I wonder if I have a picture. We got a big tank, and it's connected to the roof of the community kitchen. So the community kitchen,
1,500-gallon tank.
so the rain will fill it up. It's enough square footage that in a year it's going to fill the tank, and it's enough for everyone. And then when we first get there, we had it trucked in and filled up from the neighbors. So we kind of give it a jump start, and then it's a self-recycling, self-refilling process. And that feeds the kitchen. It feeds, the various infrastructure, the shower, and all that. Let me see if I can find a picture of that.
Yeah, we actually had 2 different water setups. One at the top of the hill for the shower that we painted, partially to keep it, the algae growth down, and then to also warm it up for the showers. And then we had a 1,500-gallon tank that we kind of like semi-buried at the kitchen.
I don't have videos.
I'm gonna talk about a guy that knows how to do stuff. Talk to Tom.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, you didn't get to see it really yet, but you were the lead on building the outhouse, which I feel like everyone was talking about building shit. No one really started building shit. And then Tom was just like, I'm just going to take these bricks and start building shit.
Like the know-how, the work ethic.
Someone said...
It was good.
Someone said when Tyler C started walking down the gravel road with a roller bag, I was in tears. Oh my god.
He was ready to leave by the time he got to the hill. Was like, you know what? I'm double thinking this. Man.
Yeah.
Maybe on second thought.
Oh my god. That guy.
And then his daughter on his phone was like, "You went there for nothing?"
He said, "Yeah." But
Like,
his
I guess
reaction
so.
to the cat was priceless. He was like, "The cat, bro. I mean, it is what it is." He said,
We gotta kill a cat. We kill a cat.
"Get
He's
it
like,
done."
I'm gonna eat whatever I have to for my family. It's like, honestly, that's a good take. That's a good take about the cat. Like, I think the cat thing is so silly.
It is so silly.
Yeah, I got to hear the actual story behind that, and that definitely wasn't on camera. But
Tree told it.
Yeah, I mean, who hasn't killed and skinned it?
no. I mean, like an in depth of how, like the actual how it got killed and all that stuff.
It's vermin.
I was
It's
like-
killing the farm animals. You shoot it.
30
Then-
chickens. Like, do you understand how much 30 chickens can produce?
Right. And it didn't even
Yeah.
eat them. It just like chewed on their head and killed them and then left.
Yeah.
30 of them.
And for the record, I would kill. I don't know. I wouldn't eat the cat or where. I would shoot it and then throw it in the garbage. That's exactly what I would do if it's killing my chicken.
You can't throw it, meat in the garbage or else rats will come. Usually, you
Yeah,
would
that's
burn it.
fine.
Normally, you would
You
have to
burn
burn
it.
the meat.
Right.
That's fine. I'll still just throw it. Honestly, I'd still just throw it away. I don't
I
even
feel like
care.
that's such a cultural thing. Like, we freak out about killing animals that we think are domesticated when
Yeah,
you're not weighing the pros and cons of like the loss of 30 chickens and how much food that provided somebody. You're focused on
right.
the loss of a single feral cat.
And then when you say the word cat, you think of like, oh, this lap cat. That's this someone's pet. No, this
baby.
thing was feral.
The feral
And
goblin.
like, it had like dreadlocks and shit. Like it was not a normal cat.
Okay, let's see.
Not normal because I had dreadlocks.
No, because it was feral.
Well,
it
like
was
Max.
chewing off the heads of chickens. Normal cats
would-
don't do that shit.
You're not just a little bit curious what it tasted like?
They said it tasted like chicken.
Oh.
Everything tastes like chicken.
Then you go
Everything
into the
does.
age-old argument of like, does everything taste like chicken or does chicken taste like everything? We just don't have time for that tonight, guys.
He wasn't sleeping. Someone said, I forget. You guys can't see the comments. Someone said, he probably has. They're guessing about like maybe he has medical conditions, etc. Sleeping at a 45-degree angle in a tent would be good for medical conditions. So he was sleeping in an inflatable mattress that was like up to my waist, like it was flat. He was not sleeping at 45 degrees. He just said that to be dramatic. Like he had the most like comfortable sleeping situation of any of us. He had like this huge,
Yeah, he had
super
a
tall,
boosted,
high
he had a
pressure.
boosted setup, man.
Yeah,
He had like 3 cases of monsters in his tent, and like a fully stocked pantry of sausages, like Venice sausages, and a bunch of like weird shit that are canned, like canned meat.
yeah.
I was like, dude, this is one of the reasons. It's like it's not a medical condition. It's a fucking life choice.
Well, I mean, there's that, but like they're saying, because he said he was sleeping at a 45-degree angle in the show, but he's not. He has a very comfortable sleeping situation.
Yeah, no.
People are saying, I think the average viewer realizes Discovery is cutting it up for drama, but you guys look cool. That's nice.
Aw, thanks.
Someone's like, I was looking at him like, there is no way this man is for real. Yeah, he's an actor. It's a show.
Yeah, no, I mean, how he was actually talking on the show, like, I have a feeling that's really who he is. He might be an actor and on some things, but what you see him doing on the show, that's really him. And it does come out like, you all want some Confederate flags? I was like, bro, nobody wants a Confederate flag.
Did you read the scene when he first gets there and he's talking to Tempo and Zans, and they're just like, like staring at the ground, like not saying anything. It's like so awkward. That was so hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, and if you notice, like his face was purple, and I thought he got when I asked him about it. I was like, dude, you need to wear some sunscreen. You look sunburnt. He's like, no, my blood pressure is up. I was like, dude, we're just sitting down. Like, we're not really doing anything. Then I really realized this dude has serious medical conditions, and he's an actual liability being there. And I was actually worried that...
He was concerned.
People are talking about Rel. Okay, so have any of you guys met Rel?
I don't know.
Congratulations, and I envy you. There used to be this person, when all this drama started the previous time that there was these cult accusations. Rel is a person who was at the time at the garden and has this whole like attention business. So like she makes her money from being dramatic on the internet and getting attention. And so she started making all these videos about she made the cat into a hat, right? She made her dog into a skirt. She started talking about how she's no longer a white lady, she's now a black man, which is a valid form of being trans. And so she starts using the N-word and stuff because she's a black man. There's just no defending the stuff that she says on a daily basis. And she also started making videos talking about how she is the cult leader, and eventually there was the things she was saying in these videos, like it was leading to death threats to everyone else, and fake CPS calls and charges and stuff, and like the FBI came out, and like every federal agency was like sent to investigate all these fake claims, which obviously was all fine because none of it was true.
Right.
A lot
and
of
it did it.
And obviously it did a number on
Tree.
What?
And obviously all that did a number on Tree because Tree really believes newcomers are.
It did a number on everyone. I mean, everyone was getting 1,000 death threats a day from people who have their address, with like really specific threats and claims of like they're gonna come do this and they know your address and they're gonna be there tomorrow. Like by the thousands, like every day, right? So like that's deeply traumatic. But this person was like built a professional career of making it worse.
I did not realize it was all of that.
Yeah. So this person, okay, so like Niah being kicked out, the most harsh judgment, the most harsh punishment a person can get in this world is like leave for 30 days and then you can come back. And that's what happened to Niah. Okay? This person, Rel, is the only example I've ever heard of. She is banned from every single property forever. So
wow.
And so someone said she's making videos right now about how she's the cult leader, and like whatever she says, this is the only person who has ever been permanently banned from all of the lands. So just keep that in mind. I'm glad that you guys have not had to spend time with her.
She actually got some airtime, it looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's in the show.
That little clip.
Just a little
Yeah,
bit.
with her old TikTok video.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, they showed some of the old videos. Someone said, did Amazon deliver there? No. We had to go all the way out, like 2 miles to the street to get the packages. They would just leave them in the gutter, and we would hope they were still there and not getting rained on or washed away. And
I didn't know that either.
oh, AB wants to join. I will send
AB?
the details. He had 4 cases of monsters and canned meat. Yeah, what else did he have in his tent, Tyler? I didn't see that.
Yeah, so I'm not going to give too much away, but when he left, he just left everything there. He left the tent, he left his air mattress, he left everything, so I got to see what was in his tent.
Ah.
I rated him.
Chicken.
We divvied up the canned meat in the kitchen and made something out of it.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
He contributed.
AP, I just
In
sent
the end,
you.
he did.
I just sent
Yeah,
you
and there is actually a lot of good food that was made out of the dumpster. That was the one thing that was really, really surprising to me. I was like, we made steak tacos tonight, and it's 100% out of the dumpster,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed it.
I was when I realized that I did, for some reason it didn't connect for me. I'm cooking chicken for a curry or something, and I'm like, Bobby, how do you tell when it's done in the on the fire with the skillet? It doesn't look the same as it normally would. And he's like, and I'm like, I don't want it to be too dry. And he's like, CJ, this chicken's from the dumpster. Keep cooking. Like, oh, okay.
We don't care. We just don't want to sit our brains out.
Yeah.
Keep cooking.
Which never happened, by the way. We were totally fine.
Yeah, we didn't have any kind of foodborne
Yeah.
illness or. Someone said Tyler went from is dumpster food sanitary to we made the best dumpster tacos. That's the journey of the show. Yeah, I was really interested in what you said about these buckets that you make. Tyler.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Which buckets are you talking about?
You said something like every once a month you're making these buckets.
Right. Yeah. So I go to Walmart, and I'll get a food grade bucket and grab a lid, and then I'll get, I think it's around 20 pounds of rice and 10 pounds of beans, and I'll take a thing of salt, a thing of sugar, and peanut butter, and you just put the lid on it, put it in a cool, dry place, and honestly, that will last for like 2 decades, possibly even 3 decades. And then if you put it in a Mylar bag and you vacuum seal it, it'll last for a very, very long time, and it only costs $25, and that will last one person 1 month.
Oh wow.
And to be fair, the peanut butter is the only thing that will not survive for that many years. But I bought peanut butter. I bought like 20 things of peanut butter during COVID, and I just opened up a jar of it the other day, and it's perfectly fine. And it was like years past the expiration date.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
that's
a lot of foods are like
that's
that.
that's a really good example, and that's the one I really, really hope they touch on the show, that how much food waste there really is
Yeah.
in America, because 50%, like probably even more than 50% of all the food that's created in this country gets thrown away, and then over half of that is still good. That's the reason why everybody at the garden and other communes and just homeless people around the country can eat really, really good, is because consumerism, and just because we have a certain set of standards, like, well, that orange has some mold on it, so I'll throw away the whole bag instead of just throwing away the one orange.
The other thing is, people always say like, oh, we would love to donate this food, but we can't, it's the liability, and that's bullshit. It has been a federal law.
Bullshit.
It has been a federal law since the 80s that no business can be held liable for sickness that results from expired food that they donate. It's 100% bullshit.
Yeah.
The only reason they
But
want it in the
everyone's
dumpster is to create food scarcity.
Yeah, because whoever controls the food basically controls the population.
Yeah. Bread and circuses. Yeah, and that's another thing, like, about siting. People are always asking, how do you decide where to put these communities? This one, we can't say where exactly it is, but it's like 2 hours from the nearest city. Like, city. There are towns and stuff. But the problem with that is there's not a lot of ways to get recycled materials, including food, but anything, So, like, the garden is half an hour from downtown Nashville. There is a lot of resources available nearby, right, for recycled materials. including, I mean, food, but also like building materials. Just imagine a city
Oh.
that size, how much waste there is. You can
Right.
capture all of that and
Hey.
use it to build things.
To give an example, they right down the road there's a sawmill from the garden that they can grab as much cedar scraps, pieces of wood every single day, multiple times a day, and that's how they burn their wood.
Not only
They
that,
burn this really really expensive planks of cedar.
yeah, not only that, there's also they just finished a new building. It's a huge covered like lumber yard basically, where they're staging a ton of high quality materials that are then used for mutual aid projects. So they'll take a bunch of wood and go build a barn for someone or go build a kitchen for someone, as like a part of this community's doing mutual aid, helping each other with stuff. And that is like a really cool part of the mission there. You know, who can we build a building for, right?
I think one thing that changed for us big time after this was being aware of like where we're going grocery shopping. So I wouldn't say that we're like pulling food out of dumpsters nowadays, but we talk to managers and we ask, like, what do you do with your expired food? What do you do with your leftovers? Like, what are you doing with this product from the grocery store, from the restaurant? Do you have a donation program? You know, and we try and shop at grocery stores that donate food, you know, that's about to expire or is expired. And if they don't donate it, you know, they give it to a farm, like the Costco near where we live gives their leftovers to a pig farm. So that kind of stuff, I think you can find somewhere halfway in between to support the movement and to support the cause. Just like find a way to make it work for you. And that is, I think, a message that's really important for me to get across to people.
Yeah.
You don't have to go live on a full-blown commune to make a difference. Like, there's ways to, you know, live a normal life, and do like what she's saying.
Make little changes.
And learn not to throw away, like not be so wasteful.
Yeah.
Like, don't let food expire and have to throw it away. Like,
Buy what you
utilize
need.
your leftovers and
Buy
change
what
it.
you need and use what you need.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think we really tried to stop overbuying in our house too.
Yeah.
And like not buy into the scarcity scare.
Yeah. I just bought a bread maker, which is it's so much cheaper. It's wild how much cheaper, especially because I have to eat gluten-free now. I have celiac, and so it's crazy.
Oh, really?
It's like $6-7 for a loaf of bread that's like very small, versus like you can make it yourself for $1, and it's fresh and it's so convenient, and it's like wild how easy it is, and you just like throw all the shit in there, hit go, and it makes you a loaf of bread. Like you don't have to do anything, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's non-stick, so it's super easy to clean, and takes very little power, so it's easy to run from solar.
Speaking of solar, talk to me about your car setup. Because I saw you were dragging solar behind your car. Is that
Me?
Yeah, you.
I built an RV at the beginning of COVID to travel, and it's like 8 foot by 5 foot and 4 feet tall, and it's completely covered in solar. The whole thing is fully solar powered, so there's like a solar kitchen. I have like a stove. I have like fridge, freezer, microwave, toaster, everything. There's air conditioning. There's heat. It's like it's got a cell phone booster. It's all just fully solar powered, and I can charge my electric car from it. So I can just pull up anywhere and just be fine indefinitely, including at the gardens. I took it to the garden. First couple.
I thought that was so cool that you had your own portable charging station.
Yeah. I'm really excited to get the new. There's a electric ProMaster, the big Dodge box vans, and it's not out yet, but it's 250 miles to a charge, I think, and you can charge it for free anywhere, any outlet, right? And there's tons of free fast chargers and free level 2 chargers, and I'm gonna put obviously solar on the roof and be able to charge it from that too. and I'm really looking forward to that. Like that's gonna be like pretty great. Hard to beat.
Super exciting.
AB, were you able to join? I see that you saw the link. You have to set up Zoom, I guess.
Hey y'all, I'm gonna take off. It was great chatting with you. Talking about the show.
See you next week.
Yeah, definitely. Love y'all.
Good night.
Love you, Tom.
Someone said you should add honey to your buckets. Honey lasts
He's
forever.
allergic. He's
So-
Oh
allergic.
no!
The funny thing is, I am a mead maker. I make honey wine.
Right?
And-
Oh yeah.
I'm allergic to honey. At least I don't know if I'm actually like clinically allergic. It just wrecks my stomach, and it makes me
Oh.
want to shit my pants.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's wild.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh yeah, it's like late
So-
there, isn't it?
It's about 11
It's
a.m.
midnight.
Yeah, it's
You're
11
fine.
p.m. Yeah, we had to actually turn off some lights because we're on her father's off-grid property up in the mountains.
Oh wow.
Which, by the way, I don't know if anybody have seen our announcement. I and Heather have moved. Yeah, I know Heather and I, whatever. Fuck. We moved off grid. Like after we got back from the show, we fucking rented our house and I started building a tiny home. They had like a little Airbnb that was already started that they were gonna Airbnb out, and then it was like, dude, we have like 60 grand that we can drop, and we just started building out this home. That now we have our own water, we have our own power, and we just moved this Friday.
That's awesome. What like
That is
area?
awesome.
Yeah, say that again.
What area? Still like nearby where you were?
About an hour away.
Oh.
I don't want to necessarily say exactly where, but it's
Yeah.
West of Colorado Springs.
Oh, okay. I was applying for jobs there.
In Colorado Springs?
No, in at RMI.
Okay. Like in the AI field?
No, they're doing. Have you heard of the Rocky Mountain Institute?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're doing like research on sustainability and agriculture and.
Oh, cool.
And that's right there, right by where we are. I also just consulted on. I volunteered on this project in Arizona where this architect at the Frank Lloyd Wright School was building houses out of mushrooms. She was feeding single-use plastic to mushrooms, and it turns it into a building that's fireproof and termite-proof and waterproof, and it's like wild how effective this material is. And they want to use it there to build wildfire-resistant dome houses for people. So it's pretty interesting.
Mycelium and mushroom, like that whole genre, it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is absolutely amazing. They have species of mushrooms that thrive on consuming petroleum and oil.
Yeah. Oyster mushrooms. You can even eat them, and it's safe to eat. It turns it into food.
It's nuts, and there's no reason that we can't be doing that more often. And like a pyrolysis plant, I don't know why that's not a bigger conversation either.
Yeah. Well.
And for those who don't know what a pyrolysis plant is, it's basically distilling plastics into usable fuel. It's complete bullshit that we have to be drilling or even.
It costs more than drilling. That's why we don't do it. Eventually, we will.
It's all bullshit. There's a giant island twice the size of Texas in the Pacific Ocean that we could be just utilizing.
There's a book about that. Have you watched The Peripheral? It's like a huge part of the Peripheral books. It's also a TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
No, that's something that if I won the lottery, I would start building pyrolysis plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big believer because it's self-sustaining. It powers itself at zero emissions, and it creates jobs. And you can create. What's that?
It increases emissions because you're taking oils and turning them into CO2. So.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I'm saying the plant itself, it doesn't cause anything.
Right.
But I'm saying, but if you're gonna make oil, at least reduce the plastic waste that's around and not filling up landfills. And you can actually, if you're gonna still burn fuels, you might as well utilize plastics that are already out there.
Yeah, it's wild the amount of microplastics that are in the air, like the sampling that's done on the inside of people's lungs to see how much, and they're just full of microplastic. Like it's nuts. It's kind of like what are we gonna do about it at this point? You know, it's like one of those.
I mean, you have a pretty scientific mind. What would you do? Like, what is your thought on that?
I don't think we're gonna fix that. I think that's one of the things where like it's just kind of fucked. You know. Like, we're not going to fix
Past the point of no return?
Yeah, like way past it. Like, for example, dioxin is the most toxic substance known to exist, and we stopped testing for it decades ago because anywhere that you look in everything, on everything, it's there in toxic levels. So it's like not even worth looking anymore. There hasn't been a negative test for dioxin in decades. So we don't even check for it anymore because it's so pervasive and ubiquitous. So it's like you're not going to fix that. You know.
Yeah, at least when it comes to like microplastics and plastic in general, when it comes to water, does that seem a little bit more fixable?
Maybe.
Hopefully.
That would be great. I think AB is not able to join.
I can't see any of the comments or numbers. How many people are still watching?
We have had 870. We currently have 24. It's also the first episode, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a lot of. I felt like it took forever. Like I was in the dark about I had no idea about anything. After I left, I was like, it didn't exist anymore for a long time. But in the back of my mind, I was like, when the fuck is this gonna, tell me something?
Yeah.
Because I'm not on any discords that the members have or any of that crap. I kind of stay all out of it, just because I'd just be sitting there like rolling my eyes half the time, probably listening to it's just like a virtual consensus version of stuff that I just didn't want to participate in the first place.
The Discord?
Yeah, the Discord. I mean, I guess I would be more
you guys
informed.
were not on there.
Huh?
I didn't realize you guys were not on the Discord.
I mean, I guess we never asked.
Go ahead. We weren't on the Discord?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that
What's up,
Swoop?
CJ? Yeah, hey, babe.
Yeah!
Hi.
Been trying to get on this
Fuck
call.
yeah!
Yeah, what's up, Sarah? I see you, baby.
Go!
And so
I'm
you guys know we are live streaming for 900 people.
Yeah, we are.
Yay!
So.
What do we say? What do we say? What do we want to say?
Well, just be aware that whatever you say is.
You look good with a goatee.
Oh, you like that, Dave?
That is a pirate goatee if I ever saw one.
We're working on it.
That's awesome.
I still have the
Go.
hummingbird in my car. The
Oh, yeah?
sculpture.
Oh, dude. It just so happens. Look what I have on my nightstand.
No way.
There we go.
No way. Yeah! Yeah!
This was made by Swoop.
Yeah!
He whittled the shit out of this whole thing.
No way.
The whole thing?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, wow.
But it's so random. We just moved. We moved into a tiny home. We left the city after the show, and so we have a bunch of random shit laying out, and this happened to be on the nightstand.
What are you doing? Some off-grid shit or what?
No, we moved. We live off the grid now.
That's what I said. Are you doing some off-grid shit or what?
Yeah, just she's still doing the private investigation stuff, doing criminal defense, and I'm my first novel's coming out, State of Contempt, Ruined Nation. It's about downfall of the American population,
Oh.
and that's basically what I do with my time. I write and do background checks on people.
Where are you
Did
guys
run my
at?
name yet? Did you
What's
run
that?
my name? Did you run my name yet?
About
No.
mine.
Oh, I saw it.
That,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, you
never
did.
fucking ran
Yeah,
anybody's
you did.
name. That was all fucking made up.
Uh-huh.
Look at my name.
That was funny though. Where are you guys at? Are you at Emberfield?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, did you guys ever leave, or you guys come back?
Goat built a cabin. We flowed in and out, and yeah, but we're here now.
Is this Ghost
That's what's
Cabin
up.
that you're at?
We are not in Goat's cabin right now.
Got no power.
Charge controller blew, needs a new charge controller. The panels were higher wattage than what the charge controller can handle. So diagnosed that. But we call it the
That's what's up.
cabin, right? Our mansion, what do you call it? The ungoverned?
The cut.
The cut.
So
That's all.
so who else stayed?
We got Carl's here.
7-Up cake.
Carl, you
Cool.
wanna say-
We got
Carl.
7-Up cake.
There's Carl.
That's the video. You did a good job.
I think the neighbor doesn't want to be connected, right?
Well, he came up for a moment and said hi.
No. This is
Yes.
live though, so
Everyone in front of the camera wants to be in front of it right now, I'd say.
yeah.
But
Wasn't CJ being a prick on Discord?
this is a Zoom meeting.
What?
So B and Swoop and Goat. So what did you guys think of the episode?
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I loved it. I
It
loved it. I thought they
was very dramatic.
the editors did a great job.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
the editors did a super good job. I was super concerned, but I think it's like 10 times better than like what I thought it was gonna be. So
Same. Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like
if
they
you really-
definitely
Go ahead.
used. I feel like they used Naraya's story to build up this tension or action
the hype.
Yeah.
for all type of the new characters coming in, and yeah, it's weird that it was all drama at first, but hopefully more as it goes, we'll see more of like what everybody is doing or like us actually doing things.
Yeah.
I was interested to observe like your sincere concern when you first came though, you know, because it was like you're
Yeah,
like,
that was a.
yeah.
I wasn't. I mean, I was not. I was really not that concerned.
I know you're like the only way someone's gonna make it past the first round is with violence. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was so good. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I swear.
Yeah, I think laughed a lot.
There were a bunch of examples where people were like responding to a hypothetical situation in an exaggerated way, and they portrayed it as though the exaggerated reaction was what they were saying. Like Tom mimicking someone's behavior, and that's the only thing you see of Tom. You don't see that he's making fun of someone. It's like he's doing that. You know?
Yeah. And with me too, but with the whole Nariah thing, it was like I never had a like personal particular problem with Nariah. Like I never experienced that with her, but it's like the group as a whole had a problem with her, and that's like it stopped the production of like the project. You know, it was just like everybody was hung up on it. So it was like I was just like, how are we gonna deal with this? You know, I was like,
hence the motion.
you know, I was like, what?
Because it lasted 5 hours. That whole consensus meeting.
I stuck it to the end.
Oh, I left within like 30 minutes of it starting.
And we look around, and there's like 5 of us still there, you know? And it's like, okay, more people will come back. And yeah, it was, and it not only after people like came to that consensus, it continued after that. Like, there was still talking after that moment. It wasn't done.
I loved how they captured it all, though.
It's all the drama.
Yeah, with like
I
tree
liked how
running.
they took 5 hours and condensed it down to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I
How
feel
did
like-
they get Naraya's phone going down the fucking road with tree driving his bike? Is what I want to know.
So he took
Why
it.
is
He
the
took it
fucking
from her
plant?
while it was still recording the whole time.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! So
Nariah is just
sold,
like you,
or sold,
right?
She was recording a video, and
He was a plant.
Yeah.
Dude.
He started talking to
She
it.
gave us the footage.
Tyler, come on now.
She tells the cop
What?
assaulted, basically.
You
And
knew
then
Nariah
says,
was a
"No,
plant
I'm
from the
gonna
beginning,
stay."
right?
She
I don't
wasn't
know.
really a plant. That was the theory.
Yeah.
What?
No, I think Nariah's a plant.
We
Yeah,
planted
people still
her
think that.
ourselves.
I think your car is
I
right
don't.
across-
I don't think Nariah was a plant at all.
She just
Yeah.
wanted
Planted herself.
attention.
She
You don't think
planted
she is?
herself, for sure.
I think she is, man. I think she was
You
a
have
plant
to
for
that.
drama.
Her mom knew somebody in the community down in Florida, and then got her hooked up with the community.
They didn't know them. They just met them at a farmer's market, and they were like, they
no.
said, "Hey,
That makes sense, dude.
my daughter
Oh,
was on
yeah,
a
yeah.
reality TV show before, and she knows how reality TV works,
Yeah, she.
and she would
Bring
be
it
great
down,
for
guys.
you guys on the show, and she'll help you with like media, this and that, and like stage presence."
Okay.
But
Yeah.
like when you look her up, the show she was on was called like Gainesville, and it was just like kind of like a Jersey Shore, Florida
Fucking pulled over.
Swoop in,
video show, and she gets kicked off,
Is that
or like
Heather?
the show gets canceled because she
Hi,
she
Heather.
had a DWI. And so maybe like that's like her path to purity is like
You don't
coming
think
back,
Tyler
trying
doesn't know
to
that?
She said
diminish
that.
do something new.
She said that during the big 5-hour argument that like she needs to prove to the world that she can do this so her coaching business can take off
Right.
because her eyebrow tattoo business didn't work out.
That was it.
It's like, what? You just said that on camera?
Hey, I never got offered a Brazilian while we were out here.
Yeah.
Me
Look at
either.
that.
Would you have said yes?
For six.
For 6.
Right.
I swear to God, if I knew she was coming to save us all from the ticks, I would never. I would never advocate for her to leave.
I had like 30 tick bites
Oh, at
across
least.
everything.
That's not
I still have the scars.
for life.
And a little behind the scenes information. One of the camera guys got Rocky Mountain spotted fever and had to leave and go to the hospital
Oh my
for like
god.
over a week.
Who? Which one?
Goat
Mike.
got it, and
Mike.
one of the neighbors got it too.
Oh my god. That's really
Yeah.
scary. You can die from
It's
that.
very scary. He got ammonia and the spotted fever.
If you don't treat it, it'll get you real quick. They say.
Those kissing bugs? Have you guys seen the kissing bugs?
That's in
not talking
Korea.
about- We're not talking about the kissing bugs.
But that's
We
what
haven't
gives you
seen
the.
it yet.
Oh no,
But we
also the
know
ticks.
about
Yeah.
No,
That's a whole other nightmare.
them.
So we're not
We haven't
talking about the
encountered them yet, but our
Yeah.
neighbors have. So.
They're there, right?
The kissing bugs are in Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
I thought that shit was only in like Asian places.
No, they're there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Well,
Like if
okay,
you
so
get
I
bitten by
guess-
one, you're supposed to
Yes.
catch it and put it in the freezer and then send it to some lab from the government where they're gonna check it out.
Oh wow! Yeah, so some of the neighbors' some of the neighbors found it on their kids' lips while they were sleeping or something.
Oh.
For people who don't know who are watching, the kissing bug is a huge, terrifying bug that it crawls onto your face and it bites you around your lips and then it drinks the blood and it gives you horrible diseases when it does that.
Wow.
I knew a girl in Germany that did the same thing.
That's exciting. Yeah.
It's normal there. It's the culture.
Yeah, the garden.
No, she was English. She was just living in Germany.
Oh. When in Rome.
You don't like it.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Why?
Because it's 11 o'clock and I have to work tomorrow. What do you mean, why?
Why?
We've been on for 2 hours. Maybe is that enough?
The last Irish Viking.
Actually, I am no longer the last Irish Viking. I got rid of that name, and we are the Off-Grid Acrobats, which is something that they didn't really show in our introduction.
A little more accurate.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, we need some winter acro, you
I
know.
want to see some pics of the setups.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm starting a YouTube channel of the whole build process and of everything.
Why, you need some help?
I told her dad's a GM. I was like, when you came on, I was like, that dude is the hardest working dude on the whole entire on the property. Him and Goat were the hardest working. They just got shit done with chain. They just did everything with chainsaws.
I was gonna say, hey, man.
It's a team effort.
Your meat came out actually phenomenal. Actually, Carl got messed up on your meat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the meat.
I've been wondering about that for so long. I was like, I wonder if people actually drank it.
It was like 25%, dude. Yeah, we drank it. We drank it, yeah.
No, we drank it.
Most of it.
I love that they included the Prophet Fox.
Yeah, it was I say like a 9 on the 10 scale. Maybe more. Maybe 9.5
You think percent or just like out of 10?
out of 10.
Okay.
What's your guys' favorite things that they included?
Who?
Oh,
The
us?
show.
I like the undertones of like the anarchy and like the push for like more freedom and like fuck the system, let's do this ourselves and come together, you know. Because there was those undertones, you know, and it did bleed through, and I really appreciated that.
I thought Patrick came off really, really good with regard to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think they tried to paint Patrick as the cult leader.
No, but that's
Like
just funny because it's not true, you know.
I thought they would, but I don't think they really did. It's not like, at least in what we saw so far.
It was like the
I don't
dark. When they showed his picture and shit, it was all dark.
Yeah.
I think that they tried to fucking like feed the dark.
In the trailers, when they're like, "Who is the leader?" it's always showing a picture of him from behind.
Yeah, the hat and shit.
Yeah.
No, it's really it. And every time they showed him, it kind of darkened, and just the thing with him like maybe walking through the fire and he's all dark. I don't know. I don't like how they portrayed him a little bit. I mean, I think it's pretty good. All in all,
I think you portrayed yourself crystal clear, you know.
Some of the things he said, it seemed like they were trying to be provocative. Like there was the line like, "We need to burn everything about society to the ground." It's like, okay, there's probably more context to that you could have included.
There's definitely
a slice,
about.
you know.
It cut off. It was like boom, 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 boom.
Jumped
around a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Like we were there and we know what's going on, and it jumped. They
edited things out of order. Let's say that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, why did she call the police before she got kicked out? It didn't make any sense.
The police was after,
Yeah. And then she's like, "Can I stay?" And they're
Yeah,
like,
hey,
no.
And then she's like, "I'm gonna stay."
My favorite part of the show actually was like she was like, "So you're saying you were assaulted, ma'am?" And she was like, "Yeah, no, I want to stay." You know, she was like,
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah.
He's like, "There's clearly no assault here."
She's like, "Do you want to?" She's like, "No, I'm trying to stay, actually."
Yeah.
But me and Swoop were down there in the truck.
But like, you can say anybody, like you can go to anybody's land or property in America, and it's totally okay to be asked to leave. Like it's a normal, like it's a thing, you know. I'd be like, okay, it's time for you to go. Like you have to go. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Private property and all.
Yeah.
All right, guys,
It's
we
not
gotta
like
go
it's
to bed. It was so good to see you all.
Good night.
Bye now. Good night.
Bye.
Toodles.
Ooh. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yeah. See you next week. Did you
I
guys
love
hear
your podcast.
the list, the episode titles and the descriptions?
Yeah, finish them.
It
What-
was the next. So it's not clear. Some of the sources are saying that they've combined it into 4 2-hour episodes. Some of them it's still saying that it's only the first one is 2 hours. But the listing for next week says Niah decides she's gonna stay even though they asked her to leave. And then it's talking about like Oak getting adjusted, right? And then the next one is called Group Consensus. Loyalties will be tested and friendships questioned as the vote approaches for Tyler and whether he can stay. Oak has trouble fitting in, while Valley Girl Jessica and polyamorous trucker Tashila arrive at the garden.
Hippie survivor.
Yeah. But like those things were like a month and a half apart, so it's, I don't know.
Like the one that was like super quiet.
And then the finale is called A Tale of Two Tylers. And it's all about the conflict between the two Tylers.
So what?
That's like that's like
The drama.
Yeah.
Which hopefully it'll give more background information and I don't know, like more of a view into the community or like into like the work instead of just like
I want to hear from Sarah. Sarah,
Hello.
and say something.
Well, listen, I haven't seen your pretty faces in too long.
How are you?
how's your hip?
Good. I'm getting around now.
That's
But
good.
I want to get back up there.
Yeah,
miss
we
you.
love you, we miss you.
Is it cold? It's been nothing but a cold rain all day here.
It's so
It's
cold.
been really nice, beautiful fall weather for a minute, and then
Pretty good.
there's like 5-6 days of rain, and it's fucking cold now. So,
Yeah. We're supposed to be in the 20s starting like tomorrow night or the next night.
yeah,
So.
we're both freezing tonight. It's gonna be like 24 tonight.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Winter-
What are you guys doing now? Are you still doing the back of the truck?
We're here. We don't have to stay in the back of the truck anymore, which is nice.
Yay!
And the camper. But yeah, we're out here. We may go to the garden.
What?
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. There's a project at the garden that we've been all kind of dreaming about getting done, and it's the chimney in the barn. So
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that would be a beautiful space if we could finish doing the chimney.
En route. We're
If
en route.
we could finish the chimney, it's a great communal space for people to stay warm at. Where like
Yes.
you know, winter, like we're using wood stoves instead of having a bunch of wood stoves in different cabins. We can people that want to sleep in the same place or hang out and be warm in a big area. The barn, we need to get the chimney done and maybe a little more insulation finished, and it's gonna be such a cozy place, and it's huge.
Shine says,
it's awesome.
how is everyone doing and how did they like the show?
How did
I
they-
enjoyed it. It came out a lot better than I thought it was gonna.
Yeah.
She says she can't join. She doesn't have Zoom installed. But next time.
I already told you that last time.
Yeah, I thought it went better than I was expecting. I think it went about as good as we could have possibly expected it to go with Discovery.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they were going to focus on Niah. That's. I'm just surprised they didn't show as much of. Okay, we're actually starting, and that was bare. They made it seem like there was almost already stuff there.
Yeah, a lot of the comments have been people saying they wish they would have done more like infrastructure, like what are the projects, like they thought it was going to be about how to build a commune, not about like the social drama, you know. And I've been saying like, you know, like that's the hardest part is like getting along with other people and putting up with other people, right? So it's been interesting.
There she's reading comments. I don't know how to do that.
It's hard if you're on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm kind of starting to lose my
Well,
voice.
I think I figured out you have to mute it, so.
Alright, I got unmuted. We're gonna sign off, but I'm gonna say one more thing before we go is for people, just check out the peoplesprojectearth.org. And there's merch, there's information on what we're doing, and ways you can plug in, and that's all I'm
And the
saying.
$2 revolution.
Yeah, I love you all.
Viva la revolution.
Revolution.
Sarah?
Right.
Good
Good
night.
night. It'd be cool. We're doing this next week for episode 3.
Yep.
Maybe we'll have and that'd be cool. Sweet.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
I think I gotta go too. I'm losing my voice.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
And it's been
Good
a couple
night.
hours. Good night.